I now reconvene to the regular meeting of the Board of Education at 7 p.m. with Blair, Cruz, Bikes, Nah, and Orozco present. Before we begin, please silence all electronic devices and note that these proceedings are being recorded. Pat.
The board met in closed session from 4:30 to 6:49 p.m. regarding conference with legal counsel, existing litigation, student discipline and readmissions, conference with labor negotiators, ACT and CSEA, public employee discipline dismissal release, and public employee appointment, director of assessment and instructional technology, director of communications, director of risk management and human resources, elementary school principal, and junior high school principal. The board voted to appoint Zim-La Wang as Director of Assessment and Instructional Technology, effective date July 3, 2017, by a unanimous vote of 5-0. Voted to appoint Amy Kassad as Director of Communications, effective July 10, 2017, by a unanimous vote of 5-0. Voted to appoint Craig Frame as Director of Risk Management and Human Resources, effective June the 28th, 2017, by a unanimous vote of 5-0. Voted to appoint Randall Bueno Cristiani as Principal of Dixon Elementary School, effective July 3rd, 2017, by a unanimous vote of 5-0. And voted to appoint Gabriela Rivas Lopez as Principal of Ramona Junior High School, effective July 3rd, 2017, by unanimous vote of 5-0. No further action was taken, which requires public disclosure.
Perfect. Thank you. Well, before we continue, as you can see, Mr. Joseph isn't here with us yet. He will be joining us, but Dr. Enfield is sitting in his place for now. Dr. Enfield, if you wouldn't mind introducing our new family.
Thank you, President Orozco. On behalf of Mr. Joseph, I have the pleasure tonight to introduce two of our current employees who received a promotion in closed session tonight, and two new employees to the Chino Valley Unified School District. The first is Gabriela Rivas Lopez, who currently is the assistant principal at Ramona Junior High and is promoted to principal of Ramona Junior High.
Good evening. I want to thank the cabinet, our board members, and President Silvia Orozco, and Superintendent Mr. Wayne Joseph for this opportunity. I am very excited, and I'm looking forward to this upcoming year to serve as principal of Ramona Junior High.
Yay.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
And next is Mr. Randall Bone Cristiani, who is currently the assistant principal at Canyon Hills Junior High and promoted to principal of Doris Dixon Elementary.
Just like to say, I got to raise it up a little bit, sorry. Just like to thank you all for your trust in me, and I look forward to serving the district in my new position and getting familiar and building relationships with the community of Dixon Elementary. Thank you very much.
Good.
And the next position is the Director of Assessment and Instructional Technology, Dr. Rosie Hong, who has served as in assessment for 6 years or more in the district, and she comes from Desert Sands Unified School District. Dr. Hong?
Do the opposite. Good evening. I just want to say how humbled and honored I am to be appointed this position. I'm just really excited about being able to serve the community as well as the students in Chino Valley. So thank you so much.
And then the Director of Communication is Miss Amy Perius. And she has a lot of experience. I know she was a reporter for the Beverly Hills Carrier newspaper. She served as the information officer for the city of West Hollywood, was the information officer for the LA County Parks and Recreation, and currently works for the county Parks and Recreation. Ms. Perius?
Good evening, members of the board, Dr. Enfield, and members of the executive cabinet. Thank you so much for this opportunity to serve Chino Valley Unified School District, its families, its students, and community. I look forward to working with staff and community partners to promote all of the successes and achievements coming from our students, teachers, and schools. Thank you.
Perfect. Well, this evening, we are going to invite Benjamin Mee to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Will you please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? Please place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated.
Thank you, Benjamin. Don't leave yet. I wanted to talk a little bit about Benjamin. So Benjamin recently graduated from Chino Hills High School, and he's a member of Boy Scouts Troop 220. I don't know if any of you kind of got the hint that he was part of the Boy Scouts group. He's trying to complete his EAGLE, and so in order to do that, he needs his communications and citizenship in the community merit badges. So for the citizenship in the community merit badge, it requires that Benjamin attend a meeting, council or school board, and we are lucky to have him here, and then to interview someone about an issue. And for the communications merit badge, it requires Benjamin to attend the meeting, to listen to an issue, take notes on it, and then to present a report to the merit badge counselor. So Benjamin, we're glad that you're here with us, and welcome and thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, did our presentation? Okay, so our first presentation was not able to join us, so we will go ahead with our second item on the agenda, which is Fair Kids Big Yellow Bus Program. So we have Natalie Chaidez, for the Fair Kids Coordinator.
Good evening. Thank you for allocating this time so that I can share a little bit about our very special program that we have with the LA County Fair at Fairplex. First, I do want to note that I am a Chino Valley USD alum, so spent all of my... And my brother is still currently, he just graduated from Caddo and is going on to Magnolia, so I'm still in here. Yes, so I think many of you and hopefully members of the community may be well acquainted with the LA County Fair. Hopefully you have had the opportunity to visit our fairgrounds in September when we have the excitement of having all of those great exhibits that carry a lot of hands-on educational opportunities for not just students but adults alike. So we have built a Fair Kids Field Trip program, and what that program is, we open the fairgrounds from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. to students on field trips. The field trips are free of charge for admission and parking. Transportation is covered by your community, by the efforts of the Chino community to raise funds to have your students attend these field trips. And every year, the fairgrounds from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., like I mentioned, ooh, that is a very sensitive microphone, are very much an adventure. You've been there when the crowds are there, but when it's just our students, it's really an opportunity for them to partake in the 15 educational exhibits that we have open at that time. Now, some of you may have all received this brochure. I'm going to show you all. Each exhibit is designed and chosen to highlight something of the curriculum that our students in the area are using in their classroom. So it is the classroom come to life. And I think the cover of this book says it all. It's a small boy looking up at a T-Rex, really looking up beyond the book. We do provide curriculum. It is California standard. It's up to California standards of education. That curriculum is available for pre-field trip, during field trip, and post-field trip, as well as other materials you can use, educators can use during field trips. So every educators are recommended to make their own field trip. It is an easy online registration. We look forward to partnering with all of our neighboring communities. We've had great participation from Chino in the past. We hope to have participation again this year. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Natalie. And I know, Mr. Daw, you have a question.
Yeah. Dr. Enfield, I have a question. Could you please have this information on our district website? I really love this program, especially the animal part. You can see all different types of animals, small and large, and kids get really, really excited. And I think we need to make more opportunities like this where we can get off kids from looking at iPhones and iPads. So thank you.
Now, Natalie, the public can go online and purchase the tickets for our community. Is that still true?
Yes. So in the past, we have had community days tickets available through our website.
Well, in order to buy for the yellow bus.
For the yellow bus?
Right.
Yes. So those, any day, so on Chino Day, which I'm sorry, many days in my head, I
Not a
cannot
problem.
remember what day it is, any ticket that your community has used for that day, those funds are then used for the Big Yellow Bus program. Those tickets were available through purchase on our Fairplex website or the LA County Fair website, but we are changing that system where we're working with a community committee from Chino to find other outlets of how to provide those tickets. So we are thinking of the community center, there'd be the NAC or the neighborhood preserve, or as well as trying to put it on the city website rather than the Fairplex website.
okay.
So that then residents of Chino are partaking in that. And Chino Hills is a separate community.
Right.
So, but they're both open to both. Yes.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Well, we appreciate you being here because it is a great program, and I know that our students benefit greatly from it. And so everyone out there, make sure you purchase your tickets from the Chino, or Chino Hills, actually, or, yeah, Chino Hills, depending on which day you want to go to.
You can go to both.
And go to both, that's right, but make sure you buy your ticket so that our students benefit from it.
Thank you
Mr.
very
Cruz?
much.
I'm noticing the program. Every section, it has a specific curriculum tied to it. So this was a lot of thought into this.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
So if I may have a sec, I usually do go over this, but this year we have, as you noted, put a key for each subject that is applied to each exhibit. So this is meant to also be served as to be used as a tool for educators on our website. Soon we will have field trips that we would say, oh, this is a science-based suggested field trip, where we tend to give educators the freedom to choose which exhibits they will visit that day, but we're finding that some people would like to be a little bit more direction. So with a science-based field trip, we'll suggest this and this exhibit, and it'll be led by these keys. So
Great.
we try to keep up to the best way to fit our educators.
Very good. Well, thank you. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you very much. Have a good
Okay, so next we are at Employee Communications, Employee Representatives Communications. And we have Ms. Denise Arroyo, CSEA President.
Good evening. I first want to say I thought once school was out, it was going to slow down a little bit. Surprise! It's not slowing down. Recently, the district decided a shift change was needed in our security patrol. District has a right to initiate a shift change based on district needs. My concern is we are just moving individuals, but not solving a problem. We are just moving pieces of the puzzle. For the past few years, I've come up here and stressed the need for more security. Just this week, congressmen were at a softball practice, as well as that were targeted, as well as a disgruntled employee targeted a UPS building where employees were working. We lack patrol. District did restore security at the school sites. However, we have only 2 12-month site security at the high schools. We have 4 high schools. The high schools have events going on every day during the summer, whether there is summer school or not. When will the district and the board see that the need for security is necessary to protect our children and our employees? I would hope the district would be proactive instead of having to react when something happens. I do want to follow up on the special meeting last week regarding OPA. As an employee of CVUSD for 38 years and president of the Classified Employees Union for 8 years, I am honored to be an employee here at this district. Our district has always ranked high in the county of San Bernardino, one of the top school districts. I will always advocate for our school district. We have the best school district, and like I said, I am honored. We have great teachers, classified employees, and management. When employees come to our district, they don't leave, and I'm living proof. Okay, we have a great, great district, so I will always advocate for our district. I'm very proud to be an employee. Thank you.
Thank you. And I don't see any representative from ACT. Yvette Farley from CHAMP.
Good evening. I'd like to begin to start off by congratulating our new CHAMP members, as well as the advancement of 2 of our existing CHAMP members. It's always great to see that promotions from within are occurring. Thank you for the recognition. I didn't get a chance to say that, for the recognition banquet that was held. All the feedback we got was how wonderful it was executed, and the fact that you're bringing that back and had the excitement to have that back again was really warming for a lot of people. Also like to thank Cabinet for their continued support of basically all our CHAMP members through the implementation of the areas of emphasis, supporting us with parent involvement, along with any of our school issues. Classified has done a great job with supporting a lot of schools as well. We will continue to work hard at building a strong foundation here at Chino Valley. It's always in the forefront, and our administrative team works very hard at doing that. We want to create a culture of achievement here, and we want to support all your initiatives. So I thank the board, I thank Cabinet, and of course I thank our administrative staff and all employees for, it's a rough year. We deal with a lot, and we all still come back in July, so we're really happy about that. And on a happier note, we're very proud to provide scholarships when we can to our high school graduates and children of our CHAMP members, and I have Beverly Beamer to do that tonight for you.
All right.
Thank you, Yvette. As part of CHAMP, we like to obviously promote as much education as we can, because that's why we're here. So we are very proud every year to offer scholarships to our high school seniors for our CHAMP members. This year we have 2 recipients. The nice part about this year, which has not happened for about 7 years, is both of the recipients are not only children of our own CHAMP members, but they are also graduates of our own district. So we are paying forward not only to our CHAMP members' children, but also to our own children, which we have educated. The first young lady I would like to bring up is Alexis Melendez. She is the proud daughter of Felix Melendez, the principal of Chino High School. So Alexis, I'm just going to give you a brief snapshot. She's come through Rhodes, all the way up through Chino High School. She's participated in the advanced placement coursework. I know she took advanced placement statistics because I remember her sitting in the classroom a couple years ago. Chino Corral, National Art Honor Society, where she offers community service hours through mural painting. She's involved in the 7th Street Superstar Theater Troupe for teens. She'll be majoring in English. I know that's hard to believe with Felix having been an English major. And music, and would like to be a writer or an editor for a science-based magazine for children. We might have a position for you in the future. She has been accepted to the following very strong colleges: University of California at Merced, University of California at Davis, and California State University of San Bernardino. And Alexis, it is, as the Champ Treasurer, a pleasure to give you this certificate, but probably more important to you and Dad is the envelope behind it, or the contents of the envelope behind it, which says the Certificate of Scholarship. This acknowledges that Alexis Melendez has earned a scholarship from Chino Association of Management Personnel, June 2017. Thank you so much for your continued education.
I'd like to say thank you to Champ and to the district for this gracious award. Thank you.
Our second recipient couldn't be here tonight because he had to work, so we know that his parents, both of whom are employees of our Chino Valley family, both Mr. Satura and his wife. Okay, you have to stand up since he can't be here. You have to pretend like your son, right? And Marlene,
Right, yeah.
taller.
Son is
No,
taller.
you're short compared to him, I understand that. So both, obviously, Greg, who is a cabinet member, and his wife, who is a teacher. Their son, Tyler, is a graduate of Chino Hills High School. He participated in ASB for 4 years, basketball, chief communications officer for Model United Nations Club. He volunteers at his church by sorting canned goods for their canned food drive, Church Harvest Festival, and visits classrooms to tutor students and assist teachers. He plans on pursuing a degree in criminal justice, and Tyler has been accepted to the following very strong universities. He has been accepted to Cal State Fullerton, Cal State Long Beach, Cal State San Marcos, Chico State, Sonoma State, and Cal Baptist. Tyler would like to pursue a career in law enforcement and hopes to be employed by a federal law enforcement agency. So with that, again, certificate for your son, certificate of scholarship. This acknowledges that Tyler Satura has earned a scholarship from Chino Association of Management Personnel. Please make sure the son gets the envelope. What's in it is made out to him, but we appreciate you and your son's continued education. Thank you so much.
Thank you. As Ms. Beamer said, Tyler had to work tonight. He works at Albertson, so if you see him in Chino Hills,
yeah.
tall kid boxing your groceries,
Yes, you know.
that's Tyler. He thanks you for this, and thanks, Chap. Thanks.
Good.
Okay, we are next at community liaisons, and I don't know that I see anyone. I'm looking. I don't think so. If I missed you, stand up. Okay, so let's go on.
Suzette Dang.
Who?
Suzette Dang from Kurt Hagney's office.
Oh! Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for being here. It's like you're perfect in between. Okay. All righty, so next we are from comments from the audience on items not on the agenda. Pat?
Or request to speak on non-agenda items.
Okay, speakers will be called in the order that the request was received. Please listen for your name and be prepared to approach the podium. Any comments on agenda items will be accepted during consideration of that item. Once the board has commenced deliberations on an issue, speaker cards will not be accepted. The board is very interested in your comments, but please bear in mind that the board typically does not respond to comments during this time on the agenda, as it is reserved specifically for public comments. Individual members may respond during board comments at the end. Mr. Knoll, can you please explain the lights?
Speakers, you have 3 minutes to make your comments. Please begin your comments at the green light. The yellow light indicates you have 30 seconds, and red light indicates your time's over. And before you begin your comments, please adjust the microphone as necessary so that you can be heard clearly. And audience members, please refrain from making comments while speakers are at the podium, as it is disrespectful and disruptive.
Speakers, please remember that in accordance with Board Bylaw 9323, bylaws of the board meeting conduct, limit remarks to 3 minutes total for all remarks. If a topic has been covered, please limit remarks to new points. The board would like to remind you that there is an existing board policy 1312.1 for anyone who wishes to file a complaint against a district employee. The first speaker is Mona Hermosillo, followed by Jenny Blattner, followed by Karen Cabadana.
Good evening, school board members, once again. Thank you for listening to me. I'm just really here to say thank you for giving OPA another chance. I know we had a closed-door meeting yesterday. I don't know what came out, but I appreciate the effort that you at least put out for our school. I know it's a big fight. I know we have to go to court. I know it's a blah, 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 but I'm not here to bash any school board member. I appreciate that you all took out the time to go to I believe you went to our school campus, which was our last day of school yesterday. Another thing I want to clarify to one of the school board members, I don't want to mention any names, but last week at one of the meetings, someone stepped up to the podium and said something about our school doesn't pretty much cater to Latinos. That person that spoke was not from our school. She was from Walnut Elementary School. So I just wanted to clarify that to this I don't want to mention any names. Another thing, I have resided in Chino for 47 years, and I've seen the schools go up and down and up and down, and I live right across the street from Ramona Junior High and right down the street from Newman. So I've seen the way the children, when they get out of school, the cursing, the trash in my yard, just breaking my sprinklers. It's just so disrespectful. I have to deal with that every single school year. And I hope our kids did not do that to the neighborhood of the surrounding of the Oxford Preparatory School. Another thing, I would like to congratulate everybody that was promoted tonight. That's very nice. And I believe that's it. I just wanted to say thank you very much for another chance. And let's see what goes after Friday, next Friday. Everyone have a beautiful summer. If I don't see you, hopefully I will. And thank you.
Thank you.
Jenny Blattner, followed by Karen Kabandama, followed by Ann Jones.
Thank you for the time, and good evening to members of the board. I simply just wanted to also thank you for passing the resolution to work with OPA, and I can assure you they want to continue working on a resolution, and I know this has been a difficult, long, drawn-out process, and I know there's differences amongst the boards on both sides, and I really hope we can come to a resolution that's acceptable to everybody and they get all their important items in. And I know we might have to make some compromises, but I truly hope that we can get the school approved and bring that across the finish line, and then from that point rebuild the relationship with the district, stronger than it's ever been. So just want to continue welcoming you to OPA, and thank you. And again, I appreciate the resolution. Thank you.
Thank you.
Karen Kabandama, followed by Ann Jones.
Good afternoon. My name is Karen Kabandama. And again, thank you for coming over to our campus during the week. Whatever I'm about to say, you've heard it left and right. It's nothing new, but I have to do it one more time. We've been part of the OPA family since day one. Just after my son finished preschool, we heard about this school that was about to open near our home. And we attended a parent meeting, and right away we knew that's what we needed and that's what we wanted. So we enrolled our son at OPA. He was the kindergartner then, but our daughter joined the OPA family 2 years later, and that's something she was looking forward to. OPA has been their second home. That's the only school they know. These past few days have been very, very hard for us parents, teachers, staff, and the students, of course. It's been very hard to say goodbye to those who have seen our kids grow up, those who have been part of our lives for 7 years. You might see us with a smile on our face, but mentally and emotionally, we are drained. My daughter just asked me, what if I don't get to see my friends again? I'm the parent. All I could say is, it will be okay. You will see your friends again. But as a parent, one of the hardest things is to watch your children in pain and not being able to fix it or not being able to make it better for them. On behalf of my kids and the OPA community, I am here asking you to please help us. Tell us what to do. Our kids don't need to, or they shouldn't be paying for other people's mistakes. The OPA administration is willing to work with you for our kids. Please bring back the smiles on our faces. And let us not forget the staff and the teachers who work hard and give their all. He who opens the school door closes the prison. Please keep our doors open. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ann Jones.
Hi, good evening. I just wanted to say I love our district, and I wanted to thank everybody for working so hard. I would never want to be in your position. I think it would be really stressful, but I just wanted to thank, like I said, you even attempting to come to our campus. I just thought that was amazing. Also, I work with the teachers daily, and just wanted to thank you for hearing their interviews and getting a few of them a position, because some of them are the breadwinners of their family. So anyway, sorry. There are a few families that have been separated that I don't know. I'm not talking, my son is going to be fine, but I don't know if there's a way. There's a few families that have special circumstances. And I'm just coming from a teacher, parent perspective that, hopefully we can find the right fit for them. And a few families have been broken up. I'd like to see if there's any way that we could help them be able to go to the same school. So I'm kind of speaking on behalf of them, and I see how much work they do for all the families, not just my family. So I just wanted to fight for them because they've helped so many people. So anyway, I appreciate you, and I have vision for us to be number one. And I love all the schools, and I just have visions for the future. So thank you so much for your hard work. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so those are all the speakers, and we are now at changes and deletions. Pat, are there any changes or deletions?
Item 2C3, Facilities Planning and Operations, page 21, under Section 3 of all the resolutions, 2016/2017-44 through 64, delete the name Solar City and correct to read Tesla Energy. Item 3C1, CIIS, page 95, Student Expulsion Case 1617-37, amend conditions to include a request for the student study team to consider an emotional and social assessment. And item 3C7, CIIS, adoption of financial literacy course textbooks for grades 11 and 12, page 131. Under recommendation, strike the date 2014 and correct to read 2018. That's it.
Thank you. We're now at action items. Can you please announce the first item?
2A1, public hearing regarding the 2017-2018 budget.
And that is to recommend the Board of Education conduct a public hearing regarding the 2017-2018 budget. I now open the public hearing regarding the 2017-2018 budget at 7:34. Are there any speakers?
No speakers.
There are no speakers, so I now close the hearing at 7:34.
Item 2B1, public hearing regarding the local control and accountability plan.
I now open the public hearing regarding the local control accountability plan at 7:34. Do we have speakers?
No speakers.
It's the two quickest meetings I've ever had, public hearings. I now close the public hearing at 7:34. Next item, please.
Item 2C1, public hearing regarding adoption of certain findings prerequisite to award of energy service contracts per RFP 1415-11 solar photovoltaic systems at various sites under Government Code Sections 4217.10 through 4217.8.
And that is to recommend the Board of Education conduct a public hearing regarding adoption of certain findings prerequisite to award of energy service contracts per RFP 14-15-11 solar photovoltaic systems at various sites under Government Code Sections 4217.10 to 4217.8. I now open the public hearing regarding the adoption of certain findings prerequisite to award of energy service contracts per RFP 14-15-11 at various sites under Government Code Sections 4217.10 to 4217.8 at 7:35. Do we have any speakers?
None.
I now close the public hearing at 7:35. Next item, please.
Item 2C2, Resolution 2016-2017-43, adopting notice of California Environmental Quality Act exemption for energy conservation facilities projects.
And that is to recommend the Board of Education adopt Resolution 2016/2017-43, adopting notice of California Environmental Quality Act, CEQA, exemption for energy conservation facilities projects. May I have a motion?
So moved.
May I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Knapp makes the motion, and Mr. Cruz seconds. Are there any questions or comments? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Next item, please.
Item 2C3, authorization to enter into agreements for energy conservation services with Tesla Energy pursuant to Government Code Sections 4217.10-18, making certain findings required for and approval of energy conservation services agreement and adoption of resolutions 2016-2017-44 through 64.
And that is to recommend the Board of Education adopt the following resolutions, 2016/2017-44 through 64, which are listed in the agenda, providing authorization to enter into agreements for energy conservation services with Tesla Energy. And may I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Knapp makes the motion,
Second.
and Mr. Cruz seconds, and Mrs. Blair. And just so that, Mr. Ventura, this is the item, correct? The one. Okay, so just so that the board is aware, Mr. Brett Crochet from Solar City/Tesla is here to answer any questions about the Phase 2 solar projects. Mrs. Blair, I have your light on.
My question was whether Solar City, we were replacing Solar City with Tesla, but they've merged. Why is there a name change? Do we know?
I think I have the answer for that, but I'll let Brett know, or Brett reply, because he has the detailed information on that as to why the name change.
Okay.
Hi, thank you, Board. We were just purchased by, Solar City was purchased by Tesla Energy about 6 months ago. So we're still operating under our Solar City contractor's license, but we're doing business as Tesla Energy. So therefore, the legal name change.
And Tesla Energy is Tesla as in the car manufacturer?
The car company. Tesla Energy is the energy product side of the company that creates battery storage systems for residentials and for commercial and industrial systems. So Tesla Energy is the battery storage side of the business.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion
No,
pa-
and I'm opposing.
Oh, I'm sorry, okay.
And I'd like to share, because Tesla is not, they're in negotiations for a union organization, and I support labor project agreements, and this is not a labor project agreement that I can support. Okay.
Okay, so it's, the motion passes 4-1. Thank you.
Item 2D1, public notice and hearing regarding the district's initial bargaining proposal to the California School Employees Association, Chino Chapter 102, for a reopener collective bargaining agreement effective July 1, 2018.
And that is to recommend the Board of Education give public notice and conduct a public hearing regarding the district's initial bargaining proposal to the California School Employees Association, Chino Chapter 102, for a reopener collective bargaining agreement effective July 1, 2018. I now open the public hearing regarding the district's initial bargaining proposal to the California School Employees Association, Chino Chapter 102, for a reopener collective bargaining agreement effective July 1, 2018 at 7:40. Do we have any speakers? Speakers. I now close the public hearing at 7:40. I think that's the most public hearings we've had at one meeting, right?
You need a drink of water.
I already had one right before that. Okay, so that concludes the action items, and we are now at consent. Pat, are there any speakers on consent?
None.
Okay, let me get to that page. Okay, board members, do you have any pulls? Mr. Cruz?
No pulls.
Mrs. Blair?
No pulls.
Mrs. Fikes?
None.
Mr. Knopf?
I have no pools.
Oh, yeah, and I have no pulls. All right. Okay, so for the consent items, right, may I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Knopf makes the motion, Mr. Cruz seconds. Are there, or actually, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. We are now at information items. Are there any questions or comments on information items? Mrs. Fikes, I see your light.
Thank you. So I know Dr. Park knows I'm going to talk about this. There is information on the calendar proposed for 18-19. And I just wanted to say again what I have said previously, which is I am opposed to the continued push of the school year into August. This might not be the best day to say it, because I was going to say, here we are in June gloom, and I know we've had a couple of warm days, but typically June is a much cooler month for students. I think it's easier for students to attend when it is cooler. There's no doubt that it is hotter in August. My concern is, and I understand the whole AP concern and testing concern, but I would like to hear from anybody, including my colleagues, who could tell me how moving the start of the school year into August benefits our kids TK through grade 9.
I think we've had the discussion before, but I'll jump in there. So I know that I don't know the elementary schools, but I know for the high schools, it definitely helps with the testing prior to the winter break. I can tell you from experience, I have both. My sons who did the finals after, and then my son now who does it before. And I can tell you that in the discussion with the family, it was positive.
I get that, Mrs. Orozco, and that's why I said anybody who can say what is good about this calendar for TK through grade 9. I mean,
then I would say the opposite. I would say when we move it to the other way, it's not good for everyone either, because it's
but
not good
for everyone, but the majority of the numbers of our students that we have enrolled in preschool through grade 9, and I would even venture to say through grade 10, certainly outnumbers the seniors that we have in AP classes. And I have a lot of parents and a lot of employees who have voiced their concerns to me, and so I need to continue to voice that for our school district, because it's of grave concern to me. When I visit the elementary schools in August, I said this months ago, those kids are pretty noodly after 12 o'clock. They have had it in terms of heat, and I know they can't do the same level of activity when it is so warm. I know it impacts our sports practices in August, and it worries me that we just keep pushing and pushing and pushing into August.
Mrs. Blair, I see your light, but before I call on you, and you mentioned another thing in regards to sports. Well, first let me go back to August. September is almost as hot as August, sometimes if not hotter. But in regards to sports, it actually helps the sports teams because many of the neighboring districts are on the earlier schedule. So when we're actually off on different vacation or when we're in school, they're off.
I get it. I was a teacher in the system. I get it. I get how sports are the tail that wagged the dog.
No, you just
we
brought
did
up
make
sports.
a lot of issues about sports, but Mrs. Orozco, our kids can't practice when it's 110 degrees. And when you talk about how warm it is in September, yes, it's warm in September. It's also warm in October, but it's typically not warm in June. And so we're not trading August for September. We're trading August, we're going to August and not going to school in June. So it continues to be of concern to me.
Mrs. Blair?
And I've heard from teachers and staff whose children attend other school districts, and they are supportive of the calendar because now they can be off with their students. So I think that perhaps we need to analyze who's contacting who, because there are those that are very supportive and appreciate the fact that we've not now gone on a schedule that matches other school districts so that they can be with their kids. And I don't know what the drawback is for students not in high school. I don't know what the big deal is. And I'm a parent with children in the district, and I don't know that they care too much whether they're off in June or July or August or September. I don't know that they care. They get to sleep in, stay up late, whatever month. I don't know what you're asking, what are the benefits. I don't know what the negatives are, other than I've heard from staff who support it. So I guess we're just hearing from different groups of folks.
Hearing and then living it too, because I'm actually
Right.
living it.
And
right now.
living it too, yes.
I lived it. I mean,
I'm talking about my son living it. I mean,
I
because,
lived it as a teacher. I lived it. So
but it benefits the student. And so it might not benefit the parent who, because it's too hot, or, I mean, if heat's the only reason, I'm not sure that that's,
Well, heat's a huge reason. Heat is a huge reason because we have to run air conditioning. It's a cost factor. It certainly is a reason in terms of children's energy, but it isn't the only reason.
Well, maybe we should inquire from staff as to what the difference was in the utilities last year versus this year. I mean, we should.
Well-
If that's a concern is the cost, then let's do that.
okay, so we can, Dr. Enfield, when we sit down on the weekly meeting, we'll devise a presentation report, something to present to the board.
Yeah, that won't be a problem.
Okay. Mr. Cruz, you had your light on.
Dr. Enfield, we have our major testing in May, right? So I think the way we schedule our year is really based on their testing and AP courses, because you would want more time for the preparation of those tests in May.
Yes, and that's why for the high school and the AP, it is very beneficial for that.
So, okay.
Any other questions or comments?
No.
I think Mr. Rodriguez was going to provide us some
Okay.
insight.
No.
Yeah, come on. Well,
No,
well,
we
listen.
would appreciate your
Yeah, absolutely.
insight. Yeah, definitely.
I just heard the word testing. I apologize. The SBAC testing, if we're just talking grades 3 through or TK through 8, it actually moves with the beginning of the year. So it doesn't. Your window starts when a certain percentage of your year is complete. So it doesn't really matter for those particular grades. The implications for high school are a little bit different, but not only for the assessments with advanced placement. The closer and closer you get to the end of the year, but the College Board is adjusting that. Also, they're changing those tests. There is one other thing that has been mentioned, and it's the consortium that we belong to with ROP. Since we belong to a consortium, and we're running into the problem now, since we're off against a couple of other high schools, and we have a number of students, I don't have the exact number, that actually take classes not only in our schools, but then travel to other campuses. When we're off, then we do have a few instances where kids, like Chino Hills High School is already out, but they're still traveling over to Chaffee or vice versa when there's not a match.
Good to know.
Thank you. Okay, any other questions or comments on information items?
No.
Nope. All righty. We're at communications. Mr. Cruz.
Okay, I'll be very brief. You know, the graduations were pretty amazing. I mean, I know I partnered up with you and as well as you, and it was great. Those kids worked hard and they accomplished a lot. I attended also the Magnolia as well. I noticed something interesting. That was, I noticed you got the future right in the middle, and then outside you got the past, the parents and so forth. And it dawned on me that if you're looking at the future, you got to know your past. And as for our youth, it is wise to pay attention to our parents' values, the things they've done with their lives, the things that were positive and negative. That includes our neighbors, our friends, and also includes our ancestors too, their strengths and weaknesses. And that was kind of interesting to see that in our country, for our country to be successful, we have to know our past. So for one, we don't repeat things that are negative to our society, but repeat things that are very positive. So noticing that, I thought that was very interesting to see that. And then you mentioned the culture of achievement. And this district does a fine job, because ultimately, great education is the key to producing thinking citizens. And we have to say, is that occurring throughout all the districts? And, the bottom line is that that's a very serious matter. And I just hope that we are creating thinking citizens present and for the future. So that is something that is so important for our country. And bringing up what Denise Oro said, to be proactive in the safety of our children, that is very important. But sometimes fear causes us to be proactive. But when these things do occur, it is so important to embrace our Constitution viciously rather than to eliminate or to reduce these things. So thank you for bringing that up. That is so important. That is so important. And also, the Chino School District, we're suffering a decline in students' enrollment. And I know they're converting vacant commercial land to new homes. Major H will provide needed students and generate additional state funding for our Chino schools. And also remembering everyone who serves in our nation, federal and capital, state, city, and county. And the whole reason because they all love our country. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cruz. Mrs. Blair.
I too was excited about the graduations. I think that is the most rewarding aspect as a board member. It was additionally rewarding this year as my son promoted from 8th grade into high school, and having the fortunate opportunity to be able to present him with his certificate as a parent and as a board member. I just can't tell you how loving that moment was. And I wish someone had taken a picture, but he kissed me on the cheek in public, and I thought, is this his way of saying this is it and this is all you get from this point forward? The graduations are indeed a beautiful ending to the school year as a board member. The only thing I would ask is, Mr. Joseph and Cabinet, that we build some form of uniformity as best as we can, providing administrators of their campuses to still have the freedom to conduct the graduations as they see fit. What I see is a disparity between who sits on the stage with the principal and not. I think if one high school acknowledges all of their assistant principals on stage, then all high schools should have their assistant principals on stage. And the biggest difference for me as an advocate of providing equity and fairness is also seeing one or two of our high schools where our special education students are left to the very end of the procession. That bothers me. They are part of that graduating class, and they should be with their peers as they proceed to the stage. I don't think that we should leave them to the end. If their last name begins with A, and if we're placing them in alphabetical order, they should be where they belong. And I noticed it before, but I didn't realize what was occurring. And so this time around, I was more vigilant about it because I had a personal friend whose son graduated, and I couldn't explain why her son was left to the very end. And so I don't want any other family after the 2017 graduations to have to endure that. And so if either they're all going to do it that way or none of them are going to do it that way, I would just like to see uniformity. We are going to be approving the LCAP the next board meeting, and there are 2 items that I continue to advocate for, and that is peer courses at the high school level to promote positive school climate. Today, we, in the consent calendar, we passed, updates to the bullying policy. That has to be where we begin, but that cannot be where we end. I still want to advocate and will continue to advocate for peer courses in high school to further enhance the school climate for every student of our school district. The School Ambassador Program, I know exists. We've had a presentation on it. I just don't think that it goes far enough to ensure that every student has a positive education in our school district. I also want to ensure that we don't forget music and arts in our LCAP, and I will review. I know we received our book, and so I'll be looking on there to see if we have increases or if we're just maintaining the same, but I want to make sure that we don't forget about that. And lastly, I want to encourage a discussion about all of our principals enforcing discipline regarding the use of racial slurs. The N-word is not something to be taken lightly. Neither is the term wetback. That is not to be taken lightly. The fact that we hear it at our school sites and we're disregarding it is not appropriate by any means. And if it means that kids lose their lunch privileges or recess or whatever other benefits of methods of correction, then we need to do that, because we are further supporting the notion that these terms are okay, and they are not okay. We are a diverse community. We need to teach our children to respect each other. We may not always agree with one another, but a racial slur has no place on any of our campuses, and that's starting from the elementary level all the way to secondary. And with that, I have no further comments.
Thank you, Mrs. Blair. Mr. Na?
Yes, I had visited Buena Vista High School for summer school program. It was excellently run. Not only the teachers, but students, even during this hot weather, they were paying full attention to achieve their goal. So I'd like to thank teachers, and especially the principal, Mr. Vasquez. He's doing a great job. Going to the need of our security, yes. Look at the word. I have been talking to students for many years now. Our students not only faces their own personal challenges, but there's attempts to fail our youth. That is, I call it number one, drugs. It's in here, and we need to fight it. And number two, this is coming from outside. Just 5-10 years ago, we would have never had imagined where, for instance, ISIS or terrorist groups would come and hurt our innocent students, children, and teachers. But it's happening. Dennis Arroyo is right. You're correct that we need to really be mindful that all of our students are safe and all of our teachers and staffs are safe. that coming from also education from home, respect, and all that too. But we need resources. I do need to see that we would have to look up our total security system, make sure that we don't become their soft target. So thank you, Denise, for bringing that subject matter here tonight. Again, the weather is getting hot, so I appreciate our CSA members. I still see them mowing lawns, and I really appreciate them working hard. So thank you. Have a nice summer, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Na. Mrs. Fikes.
All the graduations were wonderful, but I especially wanted to highlight Mr. Hampton's efforts. For the first time, we had a graduation at the adult school. It was so wonderful. And of course, it was great to see the high school students there, but I was so touched by the adults that we had completing their citizenship requirements. It was a very emotional, wonderful evening, as well as the GED completion. Taking on extra stuff like that, extra stuff, is extra work for lots of people. It's not just Mr. Hampton, I know, but I appreciate what that does for those members of our community. It really was a wonderful evening. And so next year, I look forward to more folks in attendance so you can experience that wonderful evening. With that, I thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Fikes. And we have Superintendent Joseph with us. You actually snuck in. I didn't see you come in.
I know. Sorry I was late. I got to tell you, we got to stay at Citizens Bank Arena because I just went to my granddaughter's graduation at Claremont High on the field, 93 degrees. We got to stay at Citizens Bank, okay? Anyway, last month, around May 4th, I told the board a little secret, and they have been so gracious and nice to keep my secret. But now I'm going to share with you my secret. I told the board that when I retired, I always said to myself that I would come to them on a Thursday and tell them tomorrow's my last day. That's good for Wayne Joseph, but that's not good for the district. So what I said to the board is that I will go one more year. I plan to retire on June 30th, 2018. I'm 42 years in, so I guess I can do one more. I think that I owe that to this district. This district has been wonderful to me. It's been my life for the last, at least the last 10 years when my wife passed away. And so I owe the district a chance to pick a successor, have a process in place to do so. I owe that to this district. And so I'll have more comments to make maybe at a later time. But it's still going to be a great year. We're going to have a great year together. And so I guess that will conclude my comments.
All righty. Well, let me begin. Even though we had the retirement dinner, and I'm going to speak to that in just a minute, we have several individuals with so many years of service, and I really do want to continue this that I've started. So, with the retirements, Thomas Beckman, 30 years of service in our district, school psychologist, special education. Mary Skvarna, 27, did I say that right? Skvarna? Skavarna. Mary, I'm sorry, I'm butchering your last name. But they do that to mine too, so I 27 years of service, teacher at Chaparral. Cynthia Veltman, 38 years of service, teacher at Dickey. Susan Ramsey, 22 years of service, teacher, Hidden Trails. Laurel Price, 26 years of service, teacher, Marshall. Luz Connor, 18 years of service, teacher at Newman. Barbara James, 21 years of service, teacher, Rolling Ridge. Scott Trouts, 28 years of service, teacher, Canyon Hills. Yanira Enfield, 27 years of service, teacher, ELD teacher at Ramona Junior High. Barbara Allen, 24 years of service, home ec teacher, Ayala. Richard Amanthorpe, 19 years of service, math teacher at Ayala. Kit Flores, 27 years of service, special ed teacher, Ayala. She's great, by the way. She's really great. Robert Mount, 20 years of service, teacher, history teacher at Ayala. Karen Zook, 20 years of service, counselor, Chino High School. Renee Kelly, 27 years of service, special ed at Cattle. Thank you so much for your service. As you can see, it ranges from 18 to 38. I mean, so many years of service in our district. That does say something for our district. So thank you for your service. Board members, I do want to share a little note that was sent, and it was sent to the Board of Education. It says, thank you so much for the lovely reception employee recognition dinner this past week. It was so nice that the hard work and dedication of the long-term CVUSD employees was recognized and celebrated. I want you to know how greatly it was appreciated, and that was received from Diana McKevley. And I don't know if anyone got to see the beautiful evening programs, but they were so beautiful. It was a great event. It really was. And I think we had, almost 300 people there? We had almost 300 people for our first year. And so kudos to Leah and her staff who all assisted, everyone in her department who assisted, and all the other departments. I know she doesn't like to be recognized, but thank you so much for making my vision a reality. I kept saying, she would say, well, we're going to do this. I would be like, no, no, no. So I appreciate you really listening to some of my suggestions, so thank you. And just an FYI, I know Dawn had asked me when was the last retirement dinner, and it was so funny that I'm clearing out papers, and I find something that says, or actually it was through an email, June 3rd, 2009 was the last retirement recognition. So, were we close? Yeah. Okay. So, again, I sincerely hope that we continue the tradition of recognizing our employees, because I truly believe that it's deserving to recognize them when they serve us for so many years. Okay, so the things that I got to attend, and I can't help but agree with my colleagues that the graduations are always the highlight of being a board member. But this year, I actually got to participate in some of the senior award nights. So I got the opportunity to attend the Chino Hills High School Award Night, as well as the Ayala Award Night. Now, before you say anything, for Chino High School, that was scheduled on a board night, and for Don Lugo, that was scheduled on my son's baseball banquet night. So that's why I didn't attend theirs. But the graduations, I just can't speak highly enough, and the location, the arena, is, well, it's better than being outside at 93 degrees. But it is wonderful. I also had the opportunity to attend Woodcrest Junior High School promotion, and so that was a special treat, with being that it was the last that the principal would have there and the new incoming principal. So the other thing is I want to congratulate Mr. Hampton for your first adult school graduation. And I know that was actually on the night of my son's baseball banquet also, because there was two things for that night, but my son was banquet one. So Mr. Null would like to hear a couple words from you.
Wasn't prepared for that. Okay. It was an exciting evening for me. I wasn't, to tell you the truth, I was really nervous about it. I wasn't sure how it would come off. But I have an excellent staff over there. The ladies and my custodian really worked hard to prepare the place. We did it in the NPR, and it came off really well. The highlight of the evening for me, well, two of them, were Mrs. Cardenas, who has been in this district for a number of years. I won't say her age, but she's been up there a long time, and she just really, really did a good job at talking about what we do in helping people become citizens. Second thing for me is the man that led us in the Pledge of Allegiance had become a citizen the day before.
Mhm.
And so that was
That's neat.
it was really a nice time. And yeah, we did something special, and the teachers really appreciated it. And I had a couple of them say that it was the best night of their educational lives to actually get to see the citizenship and the English language learners are so much of what we do, and it was good to acknowledge what they've done. And so, but thank you.
Well, thank you, and I guess we will probably be seeing you in about a week or so for the Boys Republic.
Next Wednesday at 11. Hopefully, you can make it. I think it's going to be a good ceremony.
Those are always special.
It's always special to see when you know the stories behind what they've
Right.
overcome, and it's a good thing. So.
Well, and I think I even remember someone who was actually a student there who came back and is now a teacher there or a counselor or
He runs a cottage. He graduated from Boys Republic, I think, around '99. He went up north to Stanislaus. I can't remember the name of the school. He went up north, got his degree, came back, and now he's worked his way up to where he's the head of a cottage. And it's special to see the boys turn around. We have failures, we have successes. We try not to dwell on the failures. We try to celebrate the successes.
Right. Well, thank you. Thank you for coming up and sharing, and hopefully I don't have a conflict next year. Okay, so just a couple other things that I'd like to address. Mrs. Blair, you piqued my memory. You had asked for a presentation for the Committee of the Arts, and and we did request that. So it's coming. Just I forgot I hadn't gotten back with you for that. So the other thing, as a matter of fact, Julian Rodriguez alluded to it earlier, ROP. So ROP is partnering up with UPS. And so we had a presentation and some really great stuff that's going to be coming along. Not only UPS, I think we're going to do, I don't know if we have already or we're in the process with Amazon as well. So they're doing a logistics pathway. So some really exciting things coming on with ROP. And then finally, so Mr. Joseph, yes, you did share with us back in May and asked us to keep your secret, and we did. Surprise? So anyway, I want to thank you. As we always joke, you know, I wasn't one of your bigger supporters at the beginning. I voted against. But you know, I always support you now, though. I always have your back. So just want to thank you for the several years that you've been here. And especially thank you for giving us some time to go through the process, because ironically, I was in this seat when we had to do the last superintendent search, and it was kind of like, oh no, we need to do a superintendent search. How do we do it? So I know, Pat, you probably have a folder tucked away with the process and all the information, and so you and I can start looking at what needs to be done, because if I remember correctly, everything was agendized in open session except for the interviews. Correct. Okay, so with that, don't go anywhere, board members. Actually, we'll probably take like a 5-minute break, and then we'll come. So I'm going to adjourn this open session, and we'll take a 5-minute break and come back and for a special closed session meeting. So I adjourn at 8:14. I call to order the special meeting of the Board of Education on Thursday, June 15, 2017, at 8:27 with Blair, Cruz, Feig, Snaw, and Orozco present. Are there any requests to speak?
Yes, we have a request to speak.
Okay, so Mr. Nall, can you please explain the light system one more time?
Speakers, you have 3 minutes to make your comments. Please begin your comments at the green light. The yellow light indicates you have 30 seconds The red light indicates your time is over. And before you begin your comments, please adjust the microphone as necessary so that you can be heard clearly.
Speakers, please remember that in accordance with Board Bylaw 9323, Bylaws of the Board Meeting Conduct, limit remarks to 3 minutes. If a topic has been covered, please limit remarks to new points. The first speaker is Kyle Williams, followed by Mona Hermosillo.
Good evening. I am the parent of an OPA student. Tonight I want to speak to 2 board members specifically. And I'm singling these board members out because they made very specific commitments to our families and our kids, Mr. Non and Mr. Cruz. When you came to the candidate forum at our school, you emphasized your commitment to school choice. Because of that commitment, our community supported your re-election in what was a very close race. Mr. Cruz, on the night OPA was denied renewal by this board, you stated about OPA, it has to remain how it's working now. Mr. Na, on that same night, you made a very specific commitment to our kids. You stated, "It is my commitment to leave the school intact." You don't strike me as people that take their commitments lightly, and there's still time for you to keep these commitments you made to our kids. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mona Hermosillo.
Here I come again. Good evening, Mr. Joseph. I didn't get to speak since you weren't here earlier. I'm just here once again to thank you so dearly for attending our school yesterday. I believe it was you and President Orozco, and touring our school. I hope you had a nice tour. As you can see, we're a very, the children, not the parents, are very close-knit. And they love each other. We all love each other, just as in any other school, you know. I just want to, like I said, I can't say it enough. Thank you for at least giving us another chance. And I hope that you can all open your hearts and just think about your children, which I know you've heard this all time and time and time and time again, because this has been ongoing, and it's been so painful. You know, it's like a roller coaster. I feel like I'm going on an upside-down roller coaster, which I don't like roller coasters, but it's been a roller coaster ride for us. All I can ask is that you please try to keep it in your heart, not for the parents, but for the children, just the children. My child came home from school yesterday, and the first thing our son, he says, "Okay, if OPA closes, I hope they don't, Mom, but if they do, I'm going to be homeschooled, right?" And I'm like, "No, son, we can't afford it, you know, and I don't know how else to do it." And he says, "No, I can't." "Okay, then we have to go back to OPA." So I know my time's up, but I want to just thank you from the bottom of my heart for attending our school yesterday and trying to give us another chance. And again, if I don't see you, which if we do have another meeting, I'll try to speak again. If not, it's okay. But God bless you all and have a beautiful summer.
Thank you. Okay, so that concludes our speakers. We will now adjourn to closed session regarding the following matter, which is described in detail on the printed agenda: conference with legal counsel in existing litigation.
The board met in closed session from 8:31 to 9:37 regarding conference with legal counsel existing litigation, and no action was taken that requires public disclosure.
I now adjourn the special meeting of the Board of Education at 9:40.